And we are live. Need to make sure everything's looking good. If you don't know, welcome everyone to the channel. This channel is all about the Texan content. As you don't know, the Houston Texans just started their training camp. So definitely excited to hop into all the Texan news. Say, if you're on the channel, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe. So definitely be a very, very fun video. We are the first team, I believe. Maybe another team has started their training camp, but I believe we are the first team to start training camp. So that's always exciting to see. But what I want to do is I wanted to react to all of the training camp news, just basically see, how we did in our very first training camp, maybe watch some interviews and just get a gist of what happened on the very first day. And the Texans, we have a lot of expectations, so very excited to see what happens. How we take those expectations and see if we win something with that. But hey, like I said, if you're on, make sure to like the stream. And first and foremost, what I wanted to do is just talk a little bit about what I'm expecting for the Houston Texans for the season. And the key thing I'm expecting, I did say I'm gonna win. I said we was gonna win like 10 or 11 games. That was my barometer. And I see the schedule that we have. If you don't know the Texans schedule, it's pretty difficult. Honestly, at the end of the season, I actually wanted to be the number 2 team in the division, honestly, because I wanted an easier schedule for the next year. But our schedule is very hard, and that's perfectly fine. Um, Still very excited to see what we do with that. Think if you look at the end of the year, I think at the beginning of the year, the teams we play are pretty chill, and then it starts to get a little heavy and harder at the end of the year. But hey, it should be a fun ride to see. See, hopefully this is the beginning of a Super Bowl champion team. So definitely fun to see what that would look like. But first and foremost, what I want to do is let me actually start sharing my screen here. And I wanted to just get a gist of the Houston Texan, like the training camp news and all that. So let me see something. I'm gonna share my screen and let me show you. Let me do that. Let me share my screen. I wanted to see what my man Peyton Manning had to say. All right. So see, this is the Pat McAfee show. Let me see. Let me see what he had to say. Full screen that.
Like, I think about my rookie year, Pat. I kind of say it's so hard as a rookie, all these interceptions. CJ Stroud says it's not that hard. He went out and dominated as a rookie. So I think you're right. I think that division kind of goes through Houston. And obviously, Demeco, look, they have a target on their backs, right? Everybody knows who they are. They're not sneaking up on anybody, but they're going to answer that challenge. But it's a great division. But I'm a big fan of Stroud. I got to know him. I coached him at the Pro Bowl this year, Pat. Humble guy, hard worker, super talented. Just nice to my son, nice to all the fans there. I didn't get to know him. He didn't come to our football camp, Pat. He had a team commitment that he.
They don't tell you that too. That he didn't go to the camp because it was a team commitment, rather than they wanted to say that it was just like he was just ignoring Peyton Manning and just ignoring that team in general, just the whole commitment there. But yeah, he had like responsibilities he had to do. So they try to really paint him in a bad picture. I remember that score he had as well. They really try to put him in a bad picture. But hey, thank you for clearing that up. I wish he would have cleared that up earlier in the season. But hey, thank you for clearing that up.
Honored, and I kind of felt bad. He kind of got criticized for not coming to the camp. NFL people kind of said, hey, you were supposed to go, you didn't go, and I kind of missed that. I probably could have come out and clarified that, hey, he never committed to come. It was all good. So I actually apologized to him recently about kind of the criticism he had to face from NFL teams in his combine interviews. That was ridiculous, but big fan of him. So, yeah, look, I'm all on the Colts bandwagon, but we got to do something about these other teams in the AFC South.
True, very true. Yeah, the division believe runs through Houston, right? Jacksonville Jaguars, they were winning the division. They were supposed to win the division, but then all of a sudden things switched up at the end. They started losing a lot of games. So, the Texans, they definitely run the division at this point. So, the schedule being hard, I think the Colts can definitely be pretty respectable. I do believe Jacksonville is going to always be there. Trevor Lawrence, even though he hasn't lived up to that generational billing, he's still a good quarterback. So it should be interesting to see how that all battle. I think it'll be a three-way battle for the division, but with the Texans top-headed or their talent up front, I do think that we should win, maybe by a game, but I do think we should win that. So I'm gonna share. Let me stop screen sharing. Let me share something else. I want to share. Let me share this. All right, and let's put it here. CJ Stroud. Let's see. Let's hear some CJ Stroud interviews, man. Let's hear what he has to
I
say.
really can say just like owning the offense more, operation, putting more on my plate with just like run checks, protection checks, things like that. And then really just like everything inside the field, X's and O's can always be better. You can always have better footwork. I want to definitely.
Yeah, what's up, my man Joshua, man? Hey, yeah, I was talking about the Colts. I mean, Peyton Manning, he was just saying that, the team, it runs through us. Like this division runs through us, but obviously y'all have a shot to do something. It should be a very interesting division. I don't know. It's one of the things that anything can happen. Anthony Richardson did scare me when the season started, so I don't know. You know, I don't know that progression. He has to slide. If he runs into people, he's gonna get hurt. But it should be fun. I think y'all beat us week 1 though. I do think y'all beat us week 1. I feel like y'all want to get back for your week 18. So, but yeah, this is what I'm watching. I'm watching CJ just telling me about what he should actually work on. So let me see. I think
Attack the field, attack down the field more this year, and press guys back, and but also take what the defense gives me, and if it's boring, if it's a boring play, just stay with the boring stuff, and just be efficient with that. So those are all things I can get better at, and I hope to do that.
Yeah, so it's good that he's self-aware of what his weaknesses are. I honestly couldn't tell you his weaknesses, like just to be honest with you, because he looked so good last year. If you looked, which is Peyton Manning just said that he threw 5 interceptions the entire season. Like the entire season, 5 interceptions, and 3 of them were in one game. And then the next one he had, he got it back because the guy fumbled the ball. And then I think he won against Cincinnati. It was a bad one against Cincinnati. So the fact that I could tell you his interceptions pretty easily and within 5 seconds tells you how good he is at, keeping control, making sure the ball doesn't go in the other team's hands. More control of the offense. I don't, I get, yeah, he can improve on that. I don't know how, honestly, because he looked very in control, but he can definitely improve on that deep passing. He was outstanding as a deep passer last year. So if he can get any better at that, that's freaking dope. And a discipline on boring plays, taking what the defense gives you, that's that veteran stuff. That like he looked like a veteran in his rookie season, which is very impressive. So let me I'm still with the sharing, bro, because there's a lot of content that was provided. So let me share here. Just a little highlights of John Mechie, who's promising young player. Stefon Diggs taking that leadership role. Just wanted to just get a little steam of that. What is he teaching him? Oh, my man said, yeah. So yeah, I won division last year, so we gotta come get it. But as good as Richardson looking at 10 quarters he played this year, give me a lot of comp. Yeah, hey, he did look good. I know the game you talk about or probably hype up the most is the game against the Rams. I think there's some epic comeback I believe he had. I don't know if he started off the game well, but he ended it really well. So that like I say, he has a lot of talent and he has a really good coach to get him to where he needs to be. It's just is he able to slide? Is he able to avoid that punishment? And if he doesn't do that, then he's not gonna have a long career. So it should be like I think one thing I'll tell you is that our division was a laughing stock for so many years. Like, it was like a good chunk of time where it's just like, the Colts would win it or the Texans would win it, and everyone else was terrible and no one respected the division. I think our division has honestly not the most talent, but the most like promise, potential to really boost. I think all 4 teams in the division have a really good shot. And sometimes I want the division to look good when they face another team so people can stop calling us the trash can division. Because I was tired of that for so many years, especially since I was winning it. They'd be like, well, we're just winning the division because it's such an easy division. And that's not a lie. That's not a lie to an extent. But I wanted our division to I wanted our division, top 3. I want our division to be a lot better than it usually is because our division was seen as trash for so long. So, I think the only divisions probably better are maybe the AFC North and maybe the AFC East. AFC East, if the Jets stay healthy. I don't know, the NFC East were better, the South were better. The West, Then North. I think the AFC North and the AFC East might be the two divisions I'd take over. Let's see this though. Yeah, teacher, I need Stefon Diggs to take a big time leadership role. John Mechie coming out of college had a lot of promise, and an unfortunate situation happened to make kind of stun his career a little bit. But I think he definitely has a lot of potential. And Stefon, he's on a 1-year contract, so he has a lot to prove. And I hope he really proves it because he didn't have his last year wasn't bad, but people are, he had that drop against Kansas City. So, 1-year contract, I think he going to go out there and he going to cook. And he doesn't have to do all the cooking because we got a lot of offensive talent, but he'll cook. This is let me share another Pat McAfee clip here. Peyton Manning, your guy, Joshua. Let's see what he had to say about us.
Like, I think about my rookie year, Pat. Like, I kind of say it's so hard as a rookie, all these interceptions. CJ Stroud says it's not that hard.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. I think I shared that one. Let me replace this one. I think I shared that one. Went on a. Yeah, he's my guy. Okay, let me see. Yeah, there it is. This is the one I wanted. This is the one where he's talking really good about us.
Mario seems to have a massive Italian brain. I mean, it is down in Houston. It wasn't supposed to be like this, but we got massive respect for what they got going on. And that Manning passing academy, I remember that being a conversation piece because what they were trying to do to CJ Stroud in that draft process was absurd. They brought out some test score. This guy, dumbest guy.
You telling me,
CJ Stroud guy. And then the Manning Passing Academy became a part of the storyline, and it just was one thing after another. Now, I'd assume that CJ Stroud was appreciative of you saying, like, hey,
let me ask you this, Joshua. I'm gonna ask you this. I always feel like someone was like trying to deceive the Texans. I thought it was the Colts or the Titans that are trying to deceive the Texans to get CJ Stroud. That was always my thing because there's no way that they put this. They gonna end up and like say that he is this, like he's dumb or something. Like his score was ridiculous. Bryce Young's score was through the roof, and he was in like just completely like he shouldn't even play football. That's how bad his score was. And the Peyton Manning thing, and it was like they're trying to make us make a terrible decision. And we had to draft Stroud first. We couldn't draft Will Anderson and then Stroud because if we drafted Will Anderson number 2, then like number 3, Arizona was going to be like, okay, the bidding would have been higher because now many teams need a quarterback. They were trying to hold me really badly. I don't know if do you think the Colts were trying to do that? Do you think the Titans were trying to do that? Because, I mean, if you look at what showed up, like with his draft process and how many doubts they had compared to what he did. Oh, he did. Okay. Chris Ball. Okay. He defended CJ. Okay. That's good to, all right. Cause somebody was maybe Tennessee, cause I'm like, bro, what are y'all saying? There's literally a clip if you go back and I'm like, if the Texans do not draft CJ Stroud, there's gonna be a complete mutiny. I won't be able to watch the team next year. Cause that's the best aged clip I have ever had. I use profanity in that clip. I don't cuss often, but I use profanity in that clip because I was so strong about it and it worked. They listened and they said, "We got you, boy." Let's see.
Sorry that even became a thing because it did. Obviously, you didn't mean for that or potentially that was taking place. But like, why does that happen, you think? And whenever you see him play the way he plays, why do you think he is as good as he is? Is it in between years, which is exactly what they were saying he was not in the draft cycle? Is it his accuracy? What do you think it is exactly about him that makes him be the guy? Because they're expecting him just now. It's like when Patrick Mahomes is in like year 4 and they're like, is he Tom Brady or not? CJ in his second year now, they're like, hey, win a Super Bowl, dude.
Future.
Like, that's crazy that it happens that quick for this guy.
Man.
Why is it for him, you think?
Hey, man.
Well, and there's a lot of reasons, and I can relate. I told him this, during those combine times, Pat. I think NFL teams are just looking to kind of pick at you, right? To kind of see. I remember when I was going to the combine, the early buzz was I didn't have any upside. I'm like, I'm 22 years old. Surely there's some upside in here somewhere. Surely I haven't maxed out
he got no
at
upside.
22, right? My neck hasn't even grown yet. There's a lot of room to expand there. The forehead can get bigger. So, look, part of it, right?
And it did. And it did. That was a good call. You always notice. Reddit.
Bro, hey, I tell you, these draft people, bro, they be making up stuff. Because if they said he had no upside and he the number 1 overall pick, bro. Oh my goodness, bro.
18. Yeah.
Yeah, who
They're
could have
going to pick
imagined,
at
though?
you, right? And I
Who
think
could
they're
have
going to see
imagined,
how you
though?
respond to it. And I think if CJ probably used some of those criticisms.
One more pause, John. If you on here, and when I remember you said that like CJ or not CJ, you said Bryce because he thought it was getting Bryce Young. Like a quarterback's not would come in and change your life, especially in his first year. That was a CJ changed. CJ and Demeco Ryans. I have never seen a culture change like this in my life because the Texans were such a god awful organization, and they were straight dog water as an organization. People, I mean, if you were a Texan fan, there was no hope, there was no direction, there was no hope. It was just loss and pain and sadness. And the fact that these two guys came in and they changed the entire organization from 1 year being the worst team in the NFL. We were the worst team in the league. It wasn't like, oh, we got the number 2 pick. Chicago's the worst team. We lost to Chicago. We were that year where they got the number 1 pick. We lost to Chicago. We were the worst team in the NFL. And then the next year we make the playoffs. We beat the number 1 ranked defense in the league in the first round, drop 45 on them. And then we lose to Baltimore, which is, was the best team in the regular season. Like, it's, yeah, man, changed my life. But
criticisms to drive him to play even better. Hey, Houston's luckier for it. But look, he's got a presence about him. I mean, just kind of watching him down there at the Pro Bowl. Look, the Pro Bowl, it's a fun deal. Tua was our starter. Gardner went in.
And then
I kind of said, hey, CJ, are you good with the whole second half? And he's like, I'm good. I want to be in there. It's a flag game, but you still see a competitive guy that wants to win, that wants the ball in his hands in the fourth quarter. That's in a flag game. Just know what it's like in real football. So, somebody asked me about Mahomes the other day, what made him so special. That calm and coolness in the fourth quarter. I think Stroud has that. Look, I'm not making this comparison right away, but there's just something about being calm and cool in those heated moments that serves quarterbacks well. Nobody was better than Tom Brady when it came to that. But I think Stroud has some of those characteristics. And I'm a big fan of Demeco too, right? He coaches hard. I played against Demeco. He was a coach on the field. Well, that's a pretty good combination there when you got Demeco and Stroud.
I do remember that. He said Laramie Tunsil fell in the draft because an anonymous source said he smoked, and they showed him smoking too, which was. But if you look, that moment changed all of history. Like that moment is so pivotal in all of NFL history. Like Tyreek Hill, the trade with him, the trade. Like if you look at the domino effect of that Laramie Tunsil moment, it is extensive. I think it helped the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Like if you look at the domino effect, it helped the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, and you can do the math for all of that. But I ain't gonna do all the math for all that. But it was very integral. This is one thing I'll tell y'all. Like CJ Stroud and Joshua, like when he played y'all in week 2, this is where I saw this. We were going to lose that game because our defense couldn't stop a cold at that moment. Like we couldn't stop Anthony Richardson. We couldn't stop your backup. Forgot my man name, Gardner Minshew. But I was looking at how CJ was playing in the game, and it was just like every time he touched the ball, there was like good things would always just keep happening. And it was a calm presence to it. It wasn't frantic. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is BS. Like it was very relaxed, but it was consistent. And it wasn't like little dipping dunks, the offensive coordinator making it easy for him. He was throwing the ball down the field, in the middle of the field, sidelines, and it was accurate and it was consistent. And, we couldn't stop your offense, so we couldn't catch up, but good things kept happening. He did play, that second half when he was playing, I was just like, this looks good. Like this guy looks like he can be something. I don't know. Like this is pretty impressive. I was actually impressed with the loss. When we played, I forgot when we played the Steelers. I don't know no, the next game was Jacksonville, I believe. And we beat the brakes off Jacksonville, but I was like, we always do that in Jacksonville. So I wasn't going to put too much stock into that. But then when we played the Steelers and we were getting lit, we were getting so lit. Yeah, you look at the Tunsil, if you look at that Tunsil domino effect, it's crazy. But we played the Steelers, and I don't know if y'all even remember or saw this game. This is one of the games that if you were watching your game, whatever you're a team fan, whatever you're a fan of, it just pops up on the side that the Texans are up 30-13 or some whatever score on the Steelers, and you're just like, what the heck going on there? Bro, CJ was slinging it. Our defense is playing well, but CJ Stroud was looking really, really good. So I'm just like, yo, this might be something for real. And then he just kept coming and going and going and going. And I was like, yo, and obviously you're going to have some bad games, but he didn't have many. He had one bad game against Arizona, really. That's the only game I'm like, he was bad. That's just off my head. And that was in the second half. But there's not a lot of games where I'm like, he was just putrid. Yeah, you say won the Tunsil trade. Yeah, it's fair. I forgot when Miami. I think Miami used that collateral to get Tyreek Hill though. If you really go deep into that, I think the Chiefs won that. And it's just you're like, how the Chiefs not even involved, but if you look at this caused that rift, which caused that rift, which caused that rift, which caused that rift, then you say, okay, this guy maybe he's actually cooking. Maybe the Chiefs actually won that trade. Um, I'm gonna share. Let me play screen share. I'm gonna share this. So just a little gist of the Texans. I'm just curious what they did. There's commentary in the background. Let me see if this guy sounds. Let me see if his voice is annoying or not. Let me hear this guy. If it loads. That thing is glitchy. That thing is glitchy. No, okay. I think it's all right. I just need to see what these guys look like. Let me just see some. Let me just see some offense. Yeah, there's more. Yeah, I see that. I know what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, bro. Yeah, yeah. He's like he had a good rookie season. He had, in my opinion, the best rookie season in history. You know what I'm saying? In terms of a quarterback, obviously Jim Brown probably has the best of all time, but in a quarterback, yeah, I think he has the best rookie season ever. But let me go. Let's see. I wanted to share. I wanted to see if I can find the Houston Texans. Yeah, so these are the day one highlights for the Texans. So, I didn't know. Obviously, I didn't go and see what happened for the Texans, but let's see what happened today. And this is from John Harris, who is the official Texan training camp guy. So I'm gonna just quickly skim through this and see what looked good. I'm curious what the offensive line took in the offensive lineman. One thing stood out was the movement skills of Kenyon Green, and they do gas up the players a little bit. So it's something I have to make sure I'm not jumping too much in because they do gas up the players. But Kenyon Green is a guy I do need to, he's the only person involved in that Deshaun Watson trade that didn't really turn it to be much. So I need that to go. And in what's my Big Beezy, you talk about we won that Tunsil trade, we won that Deshaun Watson trade. That trade, I was so excited for that trade. I was all ready to trade that man. That man had all that baggage. That baggage was tough. I did not have time for this man and his problems. When they said that this man did this and did that and did this and all these people did this, I was not going to mess with that. So no, sir. Traded him away, and it was the best trade we have ever had. CJ Stroud seen a pickup where he left off in the first play. I tanked down a glance, seam right up in the field. Tank Dell's gonna be a beast for us. Oh, let's look at this. I'm ready. I'm looking at all the videos possible, bro. Yeah, I be forgetting we got an old boy from the Bengals. I be forgetting that. That's dope. Joe Mixon is a baller. Speaking of Mixon, really cool to see him with Stefon Diggs dap it up. We do have a safety. We drafted a safety, Kalen Bullock. Hope he does well. Yeah, hey, that trade is a best trade. The Browns haven't seen the results of that trade yet, and it was hilarious that we beat the Browns in the first round, and then the team that got like Baker Mayfield, the quarterback they got rid of, went to another team and made the second round. So the team that they traded Watson, the team that we got to the second round, and the person they pushed away, he got to the second round, but the team that got that trade got eliminated immediately. So that's a very interesting bit of plot there. Definitely plot driven. We got man Tommy Townsend. I forgot we got him. That's the guy who I remember in that playoff game. I think we played the Chiefs. I think maybe it was him, maybe it wasn't him. But I just know that's the punter from the Chiefs. That's the punter from the Chiefs. That's the punter from the Chiefs. Case Keenum. I don't care about no Case Keenum. He better not. I hope he don't touch the field, boy. Oh man. I wanted to go to the I'm gonna go to the Texan page. Let me just go to the Texan page. We gonna go to the Texan page. That's what we're gonna do, bro. We gonna consume the Texan content from the source. The biggest weakness of the Texans, I believe, is the secondary. I believe the cornerback position, we have an outstanding starting corner, Derek Stingley. He won Defensive Player of the Month for December and January. But the cornerback two is Jeff Okudah, who is probably decent. He's decent, but he's not established. I don't have an established guy. at the number 2 spot, and then I think our secondary, we have some talent back there, but they definitely were missing tackles at the, especially at the end of the season, and that's our weakness. I think we have a really good front seven, especially the front four, especially the edge, the Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter. If you get pressure, in my opinion, the teams that make the Super Bowl, and y'all can agree or disagree, comment if you believe, the teams that make the Super Bowl or make it deep runs, there's 3 things. I think you have great quarterback play, you have great O-line, and your D-line. You get pressure with 4. If we can get pressure with 4, I think that can make up for it. And I mean, Lassiter, he has been really good in I think in the offseason. I think they show how he did in the offseason. I don't know how he did I don't know how he did today. I wish I could go to the training camp. But he's looked really good. He's looked really good from what I've heard. I would love him to be the number 2. He played for Georgia, and him being in Georgia, he saw all the NFL talent possible. So he's very battle tested. But being a corner, that's like the hardest position, I believe. And when you go into the NFL, it's either that or quarterback. But corner, to me, I mean, I don't know if you even take any breaks. I don't think you take any breaks when you're out there and you're facing these elite superstar athletes who run 4.4 and 4.3 and you backpedaling. Like, that's hard. And that's a very hard position. So as a rookie, he probably gonna get cooked a good amount of games, but I think he has some pretty decent potential. So I think he may be the cornerback too, but I hope that Jeff Okudah can definitely, do something good for us because we need that position pretty set. Okay, so they have some pretty chill, nothing like deep, no like deep stuff. They have some pretty like chill highlights and stuff. Nobody on the outside is going to have bigger expectations than on the inside of the building, and it starts with our foundation of coming out here and getting 1% better. That's that Demeco Ryan talk right there, boy. Whose birthday was it? It's my boy. He needs to stay healthy. We talking about his birthday. He needs to stay healthy, right?
Happy birthday.
Oh, it's not Mexico.
Hey, Pinata. Happy birthday to me. Thank you.
Wait, you do a birthday today?
Happy birthday.
Thank you. What's inside?
Hey, it's a special day.
Do I have to smash it?
If you want, but you don't have to do it now.
Thank
Hey,
you.
it's Mechie and it's Jimmy Ward's birthday. Like I said, we got some talent, boy. Hey, if you ask Joshua what's our strength besides the quarterback, it's our receivers. Our receivers are deep. Deep. We got a ton of receivers. Hopefully that stays good and we stay healthy. But we got a ton of wide receivers out there, bro. We can trade someone out because Robert Woods, I think, is like our 4th string or 5th string. Our top 3, that's each and every one of them, in my opinion. Obviously, Stefon Diggs showed it, and Nico Collins, he showed it last year. He had many really big time games for us. He yards after the catch. I forgot was he good or bad at that. I know he would always. I think he was good at yards after the catch. He just wouldn't score those long touchdowns often. But in Tank Dell, yeah. So your team is very similar. I bet. I definitely bet. Is your weakness corner? Tell me what your weakness is, man. Tell me what the Colts' weakness is. If it is, I hope CJ exploited. But tell me what your weakness is. Man, I missed out on going to the training camp too. I was trying to go to one of these practices. That would have been a hell of a live stream. But I couldn't go to the practice because I read the date wrong. And when I read the date, I thought it said, I think it was like June 28th, the tickets were open and available. And then I forgot what they said, but it wasn't. It definitely wasn't available in that moment. Colts secondary, I'm telling you, hey, I am telling you, man. Our secondary, yeah. So we might exploit each other's weaknesses. I wanted to watch this. I'm gonna watch this too because I wanted to watch this on YouTube, but I know YouTube's kind of iffy. It's kind of slow. It might be a lag. So I'm watching here, and this is when our Texans legit Super Bowl contenders. Let us see what they have to say.
CJ Stroud, he had one of the most phenomenal seasons.
And if y'all can't hear it, make sure to tell me.
Texans, I believe they're legit Super Bowl contenders, and James and I are up here to try and show you why. James, I asked
tell me why.
Ago,
tell me what my strength is.
Can you stop the Houston Texans?
Yeah, like glaze me. I need to see.
Now I said why.
Because Joe Mixon's the equalizer, and they just got too much.
They got too much. We want to show you.
Yeah, question marks. Them question marks. They got to be proven, man.
So the Texans are going to live in 11 personnel. What 11 personnel simply means is we got a tight end on the field. We got 1, 2.
We got Dalton. I be forgetting we got Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz is a dope player, bro. Dalton Schultz is clutch. My man, McBeaty, he's on here, bro. Obviously, I assume you're a Texas fan.
I'm going to play you in cover.
Bro, the game where he played Tennessee, and he came with that big time catch because Case Keenum, that game against Tennessee, and they were trying to hold us because they were wearing our jerseys, the Oilers jerseys. that was one of the games you had to itch and claw for everything you got to get that win. That was a team win. That was a hard fought. Gotta get it. And Dalton Schultz had a hell of a catch that got us a first down and helped us. I forgot to set up a field goal or a touchdown, but it was dope. That was really big time play. So Dalton Schultz, bro, that was a good re-sign.
Cover one. That's what I'm gonna do. Man. He's in the hole. He's in the middle of the field.
That's a lot.
How am I tripping trying to play you in cover one right here?
Yeah, I think Bernie Mac said it best. If I
Rest
get up,
in
it's
peace.
gonna be trouble. That's all this is, right? Because you saying your number one corner got to guard Stefon Diggs, right? Stefon Diggs been whooping number one corners since he been in the National Football League. Okay. You got Tank Dell in the slot, who is a problem.
Yo,
on the
slot
third
corner got guard Tank Dell, boy.
Then you got Nico Collins, big money Nico Collins
guarded
out there on the number 2 corner. That is a problem. But the
you got the good secondary.
What he did not have last year is Joe Mixon.
Okay, fine. Then I'm going to sit here and I'm going to change up the coverage on you. I'm going to play you in cover 3 because I don't want to try to go man-to-man. So he's going to take a third of the field. Yeah. He's going to take the flat. He's off the hook. He's going to take to the middle of the field. He's going to take the flat. He's going to take a third of the field.
They probably got to do a lot of zone.
Yeah,
they can't play man with
I don't want to try to go man-to-man.
Yeah, they can't play man.
Easiest
I think Tank Dell would kill his zone, though.
In zone coverage.
I think Tank would
to
kill
get
his
a
zone,
team
though.
in zone coverage. Okay. I don't want to have to deal with you at the line of scrimmage and mess up the timing of the routes and all that because that's the only chance you're going to have.
Stefon is a question mark.
Offense. If you sit in zone on these 3
Yeah,
receivers
I'll tell you,
and this tight end and this running back,
I think we kill his zone. I think Stefon, he is a question mark because of his attitude, right? He's number 1 receiver, and I always said I hate diva receivers. Everyone on the podcast would tell you, man, like Jesse, he hates that. AJ Brown, Stefon Diggs, Antonio Brown. Like, I hate those when they do that. But I think the culture that the Houston Texans have, I think that's enough. I think we can definitely overcome that. And I don't know. I feel like he has CJ Stroud and his leadership, Demeco Ryans and his leadership. I think that's enough to overcome Stefon Diggs and his lead and also the fact that he got traded again and I forgot I think it was traded. Yeah, he got traded again and he's on a 1-year deal. So we're kind of telling him, hey, you got to if he pouts and whines and everything, he may leave and end up in Dallas because that just makes sense. I feel like if he pouts and whines, but if he's serious and he wants to stop being on those pictures where he's looking at the Chiefs and they have all the confetti and they're winning and you're sitting there, and if you want to stop because he been in them pictures, that's happened a lot to him. 3 times he's been fumbling against the Chiefs. If the Texans go on and face the Chiefs, if you don't want to be on that picture, just photoshopped with a different jersey, you got to come with it. You got to be level-headed. If things ain't going your way, Nico balling that day or Tank's balling that day, let them ball. You know what I'm saying? Just be a winning player. Don't be a selfish, I need to get my stats, give me the ball. I mean, I think he's a winning guy, but I thought the Bills could tame him, but Josh Allen couldn't make him happy, and Josh Allen do, some lot of headache things. He does a lot of dumb things, and that might have pissed him off. And I remember he was pissed when he faced Cincinnati. I forgot Stefon wasn't getting the ball. It was a playoff game. But I think our culture is different. I think the Bills culture, it's a good culture, but I think that we integrated basically the San Francisco culture. And I like the leadership that we have, the accountability. Demeco Ryans, from what I hear, doesn't scream at you, but he's a guy that you want to run through a wall for. And you don't want to disappoint Demeco Ryans. He is a beast, though. Yeah, Josh Allen is a beast. He's a great running quarterback. One of the top 5 greatest running quarterbacks of all time, in my opinion.
Back is basically saying good luck because now everybody is just finding a hole, and when they catch the ball in space, now you got to tackle all these people. Okay? That is not a game plan that you want. If I had a game plan,
what's your game plan?
Depending on this front 4, and I'm playing man-to-man trying to mix up the time.
Okay, fine. So zone's not going to work. No. How about I run a hybrid? How about I run cover 5 and I try to bracket you, right? Yeah. So now I'm going to go man here. I'm going to go man here. I'm going to go man here. Yeah. I'm going to go man here. I'm going to go man here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my 2 safeties and I'm going to say, hey, safeties, y'all help on Diggs and you help on Collins. Yeah. Now how you going to beat me?
This is probably a team's best chance to stop the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
You call it cover 5, we call it 55 coverage, right? You got man underneath.
That's not bad. I mean, yeah, that's
You got some help over the
but
top,
Tank
so you're not gonna get beat
and Dalton can beat
This
a
is
team.
the only way I see any team having a chance. And you already know who the equalizer in that, right? Because he ain't no slouch. And if he gets out the pocket like we talked about yesterday,
and he
all
can
of
move.
Our backs are turned, that's a big gain. And now you know what a defensive
can
coordinator
move.
is saying, Acho.
That's how Mahomes piss people off, bro.
Because CJ Stroud's an athlete too, and he can.
Because Mahomes be pissing people off because you everything covered and you all good, and he get a 20, 30-yard run, and you just assume that he can't do that, but he does it so well, and it's just. But Stroud's an athlete as well, so that's also great to see.
Run the ball.
My biggest fear, actually, is if the Texans ever come out and empty. Because if the Texans come out and empty... Why you make that reaction? Why you make that reaction?
I'm just looking at it. What you gonna do? What you gonna do, DC?
Well, okay, I'm not gonna play.
Yeah, hey, that's a lineup though, bro. That's a batting lineup right there, boy.
So I'm gonna play you in cover 2. I'm gonna play you in cover 2. I'm gonna have him have the flat, him have the flat. I'm gonna roll the safety to that half of the field. This safety to that half of the field. Corner has eyes on the quarterback. Linebacker eyes on the quarterback. And this linebacker, you're the middle run through player. That's how I intend on stopping you. Can you beat me?
Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do though? I'm gonna switch these two.
The only way you're stopping Texas if you're 4 down lineman create pressure. Yeah, and that's the key. You get pressure with 4, so offensive line and offensive line, I believe is pretty good. I don't think it's elite. I think like I said that I think it's the left guard spot. I believe with Kenyon Green, and if we get that situated, the Texans have a good offensive line. They have the talent for it. If they have a good offensive line, it is very dependent on that. That's what I'm saying. Like good quarterback play, good O-line play, good D-line play. That's how you get a Super Bowl. That's how you get to a Super Bowl. If the O-line, because obviously we have all this talent, but if CJ getting a lot of pressure, none of that works. It doesn't matter, right? Because he can't get the ball to them. And like you said, the only way stopping is if you get that 4 down lineman pressure. So definitely the offensive line, they gotta to put this piece together, put all this together. They need to be good.
Because I'm gonna put some speed right here at the number.
That's
3.
what a lot to That's what our boy Lewis said. But Lewis just want to see us lose.
Flying down the middle of the football field. Your linebacker is not gonna be able to run with my number 3 wide receiver.
I'll tell you a lot too.
There's going to be problems. And then on my other route,
I know Harrison. He's on our podcast. Big Cleveland Browns fan, and he was hyped. He was like, Myles Garrett's gonna come and kill us. He's gonna kill CJ, and that didn't happen. I ain't gonna say Latu he gonna get sacks on CJ because that's just the game, right? But Laramie, he neutralized that man. He neutralized Myles Garrett. He won DPOY.
If you want to play me too, man, because that linebacker got to run with the middle, there's no way he's staying with Tank Dell. And once again, we are talking zone coverage.
So there is no way in your mind to stop the Houston Texans offensively.
There is no way. In my mind, consistently to stop CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. The only way to stop them, because at one point, I played in a really serious offense with some ballers.
That's what the Packers, right? When he had Jordy Nelson on them.
Jordy Nelson.
Yeah.
James Jones. Jermichael Finley. Eddie Lacy. And
how come that team ain't win?
Points a game. And they could.
No, I remember that Packers team. They were putting 50. They were a good team. They didn't win because they ain't got no plot. They got no plot. That matters. Because they lost, I think, in the NFC Championship to Seattle. But boy, that was a dope team.
Could not stop us because it was no answers. Anything you guys can do, we have
stop them was they plot.
You got a number 3 corner on Jordy. That's problems. Right? Okay.
Yeah, that's terrible.
You want to play zone? We can sit in the zone.
Beast,
okay, we want to spread you out empty. We're going to tote the rock with Eddie Lacy. The only way a team stopped us
is what?
Is if this was Von Miller.
Yeah.
And this was DeMarcus Ware. And you getting pressure with your front 4. And you getting CJ Stroud out off the spot.
That's how you win. That's how you win. Griffin, how you doing, my man? Welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. I'm gonna do this pretty consistently. The Texans training camp's early. I might do this every day. Honestly, this might be a streamathon type of thing. I might be on here every single day with any updates on the Texans and how they did. But yeah, if to beat the Texans, they have to get pressure with 4. That's the key. Yes, I am. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start doing that here. Because I do need to get the I need to grind on this. I'm trying to grow the channel. Eventually, what I'm gonna do is put it on. I forgot what it's called, but there's a way you can watch it, like actually watch the content and react to it. But for now, I'm gonna stream. So the Hall of Fame game, I think it's August 3rd. It's one of them days. Might be like it's early August. I'm gonna stream that 1,000%. I'm gonna stream that because I gotta watch Andre Johnson get to the Hall of Fame. And yeah, all the texts in the preseason games, regular season games, yeah, I'll be on them. And hopefully we collect them wins. But yeah, it's gonna be hey, when we face the Colts, week 1, yeah. yeah, I am going to be on that. That was very informal though. I definitely needed that. I'm curious to see if there's any other content. I think there's actually one more thing I wanted to share. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But yeah, hey, if you hear and you a Texan fan, yo, make sure to follow, subscribe to the channel because I'm telling you, we gonna come with this Texan content. And I think CJ he had one more like thing he said that was really, really good, like really profound. I need to see if I can find it because it was really good. I think it was like what makes us different. Yeah, you'll be here. I'm telling you, bro. And I know. Hey, look, and I know if everyone else is here, right? So I'm gonna be here. You're gonna be here. All the boys from the podcast gonna be here. And I'm gonna tell you for sure, if we if we lose, they're gonna be hitting on. They're gonna be getting on me. But hey, they say many people around the league think CJ can win MVP. Honestly, he was big up for. He low key could have won MVP last year. Like I know, like it fell off a little at the end because he got injured. The concussion on that terrible field in New York, but he low key could have won league MVP as a rookie. There was a point where he was, I think, either number 1 or number 2. So honestly, bro, hey, I'm just saying, man. He got the talent now because last year, the beautiful thing I loved about CJ last year, if you're on here, you're a Texan fan, I know you'll agree. I didn't expect him to be that good because he didn't have a lot of talent. He didn't have a lot of talent. Like his offensive line was injured, and then Nico Collins is extremely unproven. Tank Dell is a rookie. Dalton Schultz, he's cool, but he not. I didn't think he's gonna be no game changer like that. So I'm hoping Demeco Ryans' defense is what carries us, and maybe we can win 7, 8 games, 6 to 8 games. And then the fact that he doing all these things with the Noah Brown getting 200 yards, like I see all these things, and I'm just like, there is a legitimate factor there that this guy can be. If he's doing it with all this, what do you think he's gonna do when he got Stefon Diggs and yeah. What's my name? Joe Mixon. Devin Singletary is running back, and he wasn't bad, but he's Devin Singletary. Let me adjust my light real quick. My light be turning off. Yeah, get my light back up. Let me share my screen here. And this is see what CJ had to say here. This is the last thing I'll react to. And like I said, I'll be on this. If it's not daily, it's every other day. But I'm be on the grind. I'm be with the content. And hey, Joshua, when the Colts when they start their training camp, I'm gonna look into it. You're gonna make me do some research as a personnel scout. I'll look and see I'll look into them. I'm curious what they got to do, man. I'll do this. And if your favorite team, if you're on here and your favorite team is not the Texans, I'll be willing to even just watch some videos, see what makes y'all team special this year. So hey, I'm with it, bro. I'm with it. Let's see what CJ had to say.
Yeah, I mean, I watch a little bit of everybody around the league. I watch Buffalo, I watch the Rams, I watch Minnesota, I watch Kansas City. Lions are a great team to watch offensively. So I learn from everybody. But yeah, I mean, Steph is somebody who definitely can open up your playbook, but we have all of those guys around. He'll say that too, So it's five-headed monster, So it's definitely super dope to have, just a bunch of options.
He's the guy to handle that too, because handling all that personality, and then also, you have more expectation. That's a lot, right? Like last year you had a great rookie season. Hey, can you do it again? And can you do it better? Because now you have more talent, you have more expectation, you have this and that. You had a great rookie season. You can't have no slump. You got to build off of that. That takes a big mental toll that many human beings cannot have. Like if you do something great once, can you do it again, but even better? Because if he replicates his last year, that's not going to be good enough with this schedule. If he replicates that, like honestly, I don't think he played well, but he got to improve. He got to be better. You got to be a maybe 28, 30, 35 touchdown guy, 27 to 35 touchdown guy, I think. And he has the personality for that. And since he has the personality for that, I think he can handle that well. It's gonna be a gruesome schedule, boy. We're gonna be in the doghouse. We're gonna be in the doghouse, boy, and there's gonna be a point, honestly, where we might lose 2 games in a row, maybe even 3, and then people are gonna be like, "Oh my gosh!" But it's like, how do you handle adversity? How do you handle through the storm? And that's a life thing. That's that's life. And he said to himself, he's like, they love you one week, they'll hate you the next, but you just gotta keep going, man. It's not for long, league, bro. They don't care what you did last week. They care what you did now. So, that's very important. My screen looks stupid. Let me put my screen back to where it looks all good and nice. So yeah, but for everyone, yeah, anything less than 30, I'll tell you, because people gonna be the town around him is crazy. People gonna be like, hey man, you can't this and that. You gotta be. So he has to hit 28, 29, 30, 30. If it's 28, 7 to rushing touchdowns, that type of thing. That's what I'm really thinking, like 30 to, so he got a lot of talent around him. He gotta produce. So it should be fun to see. But hey, for more streams, make sure to like this stream. Everyone who's on the stream, make sure to like it. It's so pivotal if you want more of these, because it helps the algorithm. Definitely need that push. So make sure to like this stream for more streams like this. I'm gonna be on this pretty consistently. So expect to see my face very soon, and to see what happens tomorrow in Texas training camp. Very likely I'll stream tomorrow. And hey, I'm be streaming games. I'm be streaming the Texan games. If you want me to stream another game, I'll stream that game as well. Just love football, love watching football. So I'm definitely down to stream everything. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And hey, if you liking this and you got some friends, tell your friends, bro. Tell your friends. You got some Texan fans. You got some, hey, Josh, you got some Colt fans. We could talk mess, Tell your friends and let's hop on here and let's just talk some football. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to head on out of here. I'm going to catch you guys on the next stream. Go Houston. Make sure to like this video. I'm out of here.